It really changed my career in 2004 when I attended the CHIME boot camp. So I was pretty naive. I didn't really know what it meant to be a CIO. There weren't any training programs. You just sort of fell into it. And I knew that to be effective, I needed some, specific training. So I saw the advertisement for the boot camp, and I talked to my CEO and I said, I have to go to boot camp. And it just changed everything from that point forward. As I learned so much about what it meant to be an executive. So I had a fairly good understanding about what it meant to be a manager and a director, but not an executive. And there's a difference. The ability to think more strategically, to sort of lift your eyes up a little bit to the next level and understand from a CEO perspective what's important and what's needed. And so the boot camp really brought all that to the forefront. And in particular, having a mentor at each table. So I still recall my mentor. I still have a mentoring sort of relationship with that individual, and it's 12, 13 years now. I was very fortunate to have John Glasser as my mentor, and I was so impressed with him and the things that he taught me, and I just felt like I was a puppy dog, for lack of a better example or metaphor, who hadn't eaten in a long time and just needed to be fed, and I just felt like I was sitting at the table, trying to pick up any crumbs that I could, and I did. I just took in everything I could during that boot camp. I took it very, very serious and learned so much. And then I asked him, I said, would you mind mentoring me for an additional year? I promised not to be a nuisance, and he did. And so I would call him up on occasion or send him emails, and he really helped me through helped me come through some major issues and challenges that I had, and just continue my learning process. I don't keep a lot of paper in my office, but one thing I still have is my boot camp binder from 2004. So the materials in there are invaluable. And then the names of the other students that I still interact with. In fact, one of them is now a member of our faculty as well. And so it's kind of fun to reminisce with him about what it was like back in 2004 and the things that we learned.
Some of them are just freshly minted CIOs who are just starting that journey. Some are the directors, the senior directors that have that in their lens as a next step. And when you spend time with them, you get to step out of your day-to-day. You get to think a little fresher, I think, about the problems we face and what's coming from around the next corner. And you get to actually benefit from the paying it forward of sharing experiences, best practices, recommendations. We grow with each other. And it's not even just the experiences that we share. I mean, we can talk about our latest EHR implementation or the headaches from our ERP systems or assemble whatever acronym groups we want to talk about all of our pain points. And that's important. But what I think is even more important is the reason that we're in this business to begin with, the reason we do what we do. And as you engage with peers and as you engage with up-and-comers, one of the things you get to do is sort of recenter yourself in that. Your reason for waking up each day, going to work, and serving. That I think is one of the real benefits. You get and give there. And we remind each other about it being really worthwhile, and that there is a reason and a greater purpose for all this.
It really makes you bring your A game to the table because you're with your peers. It's not, I teach a lot actually. I teach Northeastern and some other courses I've taught over the years. And I feel like when you come to boot camp to teach, you have to bring your A game because it's a different level of expertise and people really know a lot of these topics in depth. So you have to kind of really bring differences to a different way of approaching the problems and our success factors. I also think I found out a little bit about myself and how much I really value the patient experience. And so one of the topics that I teach is regarding customer service and how the patient really needs to be centric to a lot of that. And as a result of it, I got more into teaching even at Northeastern, and I teach a class that I created on the patient experience, patient informatics.
So it gave me a lot of confidence, not just in becoming a CIO and thinking strategically, but a lot of confidence in terms of who I was as an individual, because it really challenges you to think about outside of your career. You know, like, who are you? What do you stand for? What is your purpose statement? You know, things that today I think are natural and everyone should have them, but in 2004, it was kind of new for me. And so I applied those things, and I found that the things that I learned at boot camp were universally applicable. So I could apply them not only to my profession, but also to my personal life. And so kind of crafting a mission statement was one example. And so I know today who I am, and I think it's made me that much more effective, not only as an executive, but as a person.